enjoy helping other people. Um, it puts my dog to sleep though. She's not a big fan. Hey y'all, what's going on? I could talk about finances all day long. Obviously, I enjoy this type of subject. I enjoy helping other people. Um, it puts my dog to sleep though. She's not a big fan of this stuff, but I can tell you one thing. She loves that I've been able to leverage some of the personal financial principles into early retirement and being home with her every day. When I'd say, 9 out of 10 people outside my door in my neighborhood are at work right now, okay? And I'm here chilling with you guys. So I definitely know where I'd rather be, and that's on my own schedule, doing my own thing, being my own boss, and living my own life. Growing my hair as long as I want to grow it, talking however I want to talk, doing whatever I want to do, man. It's complete freedom. It's complete freedom, and it feels really good, and that's what I want you guys to feel too. So that's really a motivation of this entire video series, and why I started this channel is to help you guys break free, break those chains, okay? And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and it's not anything that happens overnight, right? You guys are all smart. You know that get rich quick schemes don't work, man. Those are frauds. That's what con men do. That's not what we're doing here. This is it's gonna take work. You're gonna have to dig yourself out of this, okay? So I guess what can we talk about? We've talked about saving and doing expenses. Let's maybe touch on budgets a little bit. They go hand in hand with your monthly expenses. But your budget's going to kind of allow you to either pat yourself on the back or sort of get a kick in the shin on where you're doing well or what you need to improve on. And life happens. You know what I mean? Car repairs pop up. It gets hot sometimes in the month, and your AC bill runs your energy a little bit higher than others. But those things I would never be too hard on myself about, but the things that were within my control. Did I just do too much online shopping? Did I really need to buy this? I've already got a ridiculous amount of shoes. Did I really need to go buy these shoes too? Those are the types of things that you want to be watching and monitoring. I would say for me, what always worked was on a nice month-to-month type of schedule. But then you could not only evaluate what you did that month, but then you can make the adjustment for the upcoming month to go, you know what, I spent way too much on Amazon. This month I'm not going to do any of that online shopping. I'm going to save all that money. So these are ways that you're going to sort of fine-tune your expense management and your spending behavior. By far, most people think about early retirement, about how much money they need to have. That's definitely one perspective of looking at it, and it's important. It's important. But very few people look at the expense side of it, really being able to lower your cost of living, really being able to manage your expenses is essential. It's just as essential of how much money you need. I think that's why a lot of people, when they're asked, hey, how much money do you need to have for you to be able to retire, almost all people say, either a really ridiculously high number or they just don't know. They just don't know. And it's amazing because I went to and graduated from a business college, okay? And I've been around business people my entire life. And it's amazing the lack of personal financial knowledge, reckless spending behavior that's out there. In fact, the next video, we're just going to talk about reckless spending, okay? Because I think that's just literally like saying, I'm going to go run a marathon, but let me shoot myself in the foot right now before I go run this marathon. Like, that's basically reckless spending from my perspective. But yeah, back to budgeting. Set yourself up with an app. I used Excel, and I did use even paper back in the day, just to write down my monthly spend day by day. I would add that up every week. I would add that up every month. I had a target number. If I hit that number or I was under that number, I'd give myself a check mark. If I wasn't, I would not give myself a check mark, and I just tried to add up as many check marks as I could. It was really simple. I know that there's probably more sophisticated ways to do it, but guys, I'm telling you, the benefit to me from that was just that a couple things. First, I was able to accurately gauge every month what I needed to spend, okay? And then the second thing was it helped me identify and isolate expenses that were harming me. Going out to lunch too often, maybe driving a car that wasn't quite as efficient as a car that I should get for gas mileage. I think those were always kind of my big ones. Sometimes I would get into a type of addiction of spending, and I would spend too much on just random Amazon things that I may or may not even use, and probably at this point most of those I've sold. So guys, I think that it's very important. Like, a lot of people blow over this type of concept. They just want to get into the things that they consider more sexy, like how am I going to make all this money? You keep talking about investment income. Well, show me the money. Well, I get that. But man, if you're not in control of your spending, you're going to need a ridiculous amount of money saved, okay? And for me, I was always able to kind of find that sweet spot between saving a lot of money and making money on that, and also lowering my expenses so that I didn't need to pull out that much money. You know, the lower you get it, the less that you need to save. The more that you spend, the more that you need to save. So I like to always be on the extreme of, man, save as much as you can, invest as much as you can, give it as much time in investing as you can, but also lower your expenses as much as you can. That in-between space right here, that's your safety net, you know? These are all very sound financial principles that you don't even, in theory, need much of a safety net, okay? If you want to spend $24,000 a year and you've got $600,000 saved, man, you're right on that 4% number. You don't have a margin in there, but I mean, that's why we're going on these financial principles. It's worked every single year of the stock market. It's going to work in the long run, guys. It's going to work in the next 10 years, 20 years, and 40 years. That's what's going to happen. So, especially now with there is no other place to invest, you can put it in bonds at like less, I think 1.6%. That doesn't even keep up with inflation, okay? And, checking accounts, those types of accounts, some of them pay over 1% on a temporary basis, but a lot of them are a fraction of 1%. I mean, you're losing money at that point, right? Your dollar is worth less next year than it was this year sitting in a bank account. So, guys, the big money, I'm talking about billionaires of the world, this is where they're making their money, right? This is the best way to turn $1 into $2. And the very smart financial big fish, the sharks out there, they know this. This is where they're putting their money. It might change in the future. I very much doubt it, but stay tuned with me. I mean, I'll let you know if those winds ever change. But this is something that's pretty much been going on for 150 years. So, guys, it's just, at this point, it's just a financial principle. Okay. Anyway, that's it. That's budgeting. That's expense management. Track it. Find out what your monthly average is. Can you get it less than what it was last month? Play a game with yourself. Make this fun. You know, if you spent $1,500 last month, can you get it down to $1,400? If you're over $2,000 a month, can you get it to $2,000 a month? Like, make this kind of fun. Like, trick your mind into making this a game. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it because you'll be getting an intrinsic reward telling you, hey, this is working. The changes I'm making are working. If this is working, these small little baby steps, well, guess what? The big steps are going to work too, right? Because to get to the big steps, it's just a collection of the small steps. And we're going to make the small steps work, and then the big steps take care of themselves. And then before you know it, you're going to be sitting at home. You're going to be making the YouTube channel, and I'm going to be watching you. All right? Anyway, y'all, it's all love. Pigtails Finance. Peace and love.